And I also have Chillinee with me. Chillinee is a Labrador Retriever. She's going to come out later. Delta here is an Australian Shepherd. And both of these dogs kind of come from lines of dogs that are born to work. They're high energy dogs. They really love to get out there and do things. And I'm lucky enough that I get to do lots of different things with them outside all the time. So as Sarah said, I'm Lindsay. My organization is Science Dogs of New England. And in hearing my background, you'll notice I'm a little bit of a mix of a dog trainer and a wildlife biologist. For those of you that aren't super familiar with what wildlife biologists do, they go out there and they research all the plants and animals that are in our environment. And it's really important to do this type of research on plants and animals because the more that we understand about our wildlife, the easier it is to be able to protect our wildlife and to make sure that we have lots of different wildlife for many, many generations to come. So when a wildlife biologist is out there looking for or researching their animal they might be researching or their plant, so maybe they are researching turtles or snakes or deer or moose, you have to, in order to research these things, you have to find them. And no, you get to work soon, I promise. So some of these types of wildlife are kind of easier to find, but there's other types of wildlife that might be harder to find. Can anyone think of any reason why it might be hard to find something that a biologist is studying?
Very small.
They're small. That's a really good one. They might be so tiny that we're looking for with our eyes for them and we might miss them. Any other reason?
They could be buried in sand.
They could. They could be buried in sand. They could be hiding in other ways too, like in a burrow under the ground. They could be hiding in some tall grass. Yeah, animals love to hide, right? They don't want to be found sometimes. They want to hide from us. Any other reason it might be hard to find animals that we're studying?
They're moving away from you because they're avoiding you.
Yeah, they're avoiding us, right? Another one that's... Oh, go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, if you want to. Take a guess. That's okay. How about, does anyone know what camouflage is? Yeah, it's the patterning that makes you hard to see when you're outside, right? So animals have camouflage too. We call it being cryptic, and it just means that they blend into their environment. So we could have an animal that's like actually not even hiding at all. It's right out in the open, but I could walk right by it. The turtle species that I study a lot, wood turtles, they have such a cryptic patterning on their shell that I've walked right by them before thinking that they're a rock because they just blend into the environment so well. So the good thing about all these things that are hard to find is that even though they're hard to find, they might be hiding or they're camouflaged, they still smell. They still have an odor to them. And dogs have such sensitive noses, up to 50 times more sensitive than humans, that they can sniff out these very small or cryptic or hiding animals. And not always animals either. We can find a plant that a biologist is looking for. Dogs can be trained for even little bacteria or fungi. And dogs are also very often trained to find an animal's scat. So an animal's scat, or its poop, is really important to research because there's a lot of information that we can get from finding an animal's scat. We can find out what the animal's been eating. We can analyze their DNA. We can do all sorts of things with their scat. Yes, I know. And Delta's so excited to work, so she's getting a little antsy, so we're going to get right to that. What our science dogs do is they help the biologists find whatever it is they're looking for, particularly these things that are hiding from us or are small or are camouflaged into the environment. And the way that we do this is they go through a lot of training. So I mentioned that I'm a dog trainer. We do a lot of training with these guys. The first thing that we do is we teach them the particular odor that they're looking for. So The other thing that we do after we teach them the odor that we're looking for is we teach them to do something when they find it. So the dog has to communicate with us and say, oh, hey, I found this thing that you're looking for, and we want them to do it in a way that's not going to disturb it, because we don't want them to disturb the animal, we just want them to tell us that they found it. So they might sit down, they might lay down, they might stare at the thing. Each dog is trained a different type of alert, and I'm actually not going to tell you what Delta's alert is. I'm going to let you guys guess when Delta's telling you that she found what she's looking for. And the last thing I'm going to explain before we get started here. Oh, Delta, you're okay. I know, awfully exciting. Good girl. The last thing that I'm going to explain is the importance of this object right here. So when we go to work, we get a paycheck, right? And so it's only fair that when our dogs go to work and help us out and help out the wildlife, that they get a paycheck as well. So can anybody list some things of what dogs might accept as their paycheck instead of money?
Treats?
Treats is a good one. Anything else?
I can pass the microphone around too. If you guys, do you have one?
Any other ideas?
A ball or something?
A ball or something? That's a good one too. Those are the two, with most dogs. Oh, go ahead.
Affection.
Affection, pets, yeah. Being told they're a good dog, that's good too.
Different types of toys.
Yes, different types of toys. So that's a really good point. So, with a lot of working dogs, they like as their top reward their favorite thing, either food or toys. That's usually their favorite thing. But we're going to pay these dogs in whatever they say their favorite thing is. So if their favorite thing is some affection, that's what they get. For both of my dogs, for Delta and for Chili Bean, their favorite thing in the whole wide world is their favorite toy. And so that's what they're going to get when they find what they're looking for. They're going to get their very, very favorite toy. For Delta, it's this ball on a string, this nice foam ball. And she chose that this is her favorite toy. She told me that. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you a little training exercise that we would do to what we sometimes call odor recognition. And this is when we give the dog identical containers, and each container has an odor in it. Only one container has a target odor that she's trained for. Now, when I say target odor, this is what the dog is going to be trained to look for in the environment. For Delta, she's trained to find birds. These are birds that have actually died. So this is the odor of a bird that's hidden in one of these containers, and the other containers have all sorts of distracting odors. We have one container that actually has kibble, dog food in it. We have one container that, these are just things I kind of grabbed before I left home. There's a tortilla chip in one. One has a rubber glove, which is something that we use in training sometimes that they have to ignore, so that's a distracting odor. And then the last one, I think, is a paper towel that has a little bit of like scented soap on it. I'm going to get set up. I'm going to let her sniff all these containers, and we're going to see what she does when she's telling us that she found the correct one. Now, I'm going to give you guys the correct answer. These jars all have numbers on them. I'm always going to have the target odor, so the odor she's looking for, in canister number 1. So if you can see that from where you are, you'll see the one that she's looking for. So we're going to go ahead and try that.
She's getting it.
Oh wait, I'm not ready yet. Ready? Good girl. So she's right. So I gave her a little click noise that told her that's the right one, you're correct. And that noise also tells her, hey, guess what? You're going to get your ball. Okay, should we see her do it again? Okay, so can I have anyone, actually I could take 2 volunteers. I have 2 volunteers that want to come up and help. Okay, why don't, one there and one there. Okay, so what I need you to do is I need you to shuffle those containers so that the container that she's looking for is going to be in a different spot.
Last one.
All right, thank you very much. Okay. So that's okay. The number to turn around, it'll be a surprise now. What I'll do is I'll search for the number. If she tells me that it's there, I'll search for the number to make sure she's right. She usually is. And then if she's correct, she'll get her ball. Ready? Find it. Yeah, that's number 1. Good job. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get Chili Bean, and you'll get to see a much different style of dog work. The fun thing about these dogs is that depending on what type of project we get in, what kind of biologist wants our help, we might choose a different dog to work on that project based on the way that they work. So Delta, as you can see, was very careful sniffer, nice and steady and slow, sniffing everything very carefully. Next, you're going to meet a much faster dog, and she is really good at projects where we have a huge area that she needs to search, where Delta really loves projects where she can be a detail specialist, maybe a smaller area, something that doesn't smell very strong that she really has to sniff very carefully for. Any questions about Delta before I put her away?
Did you say, I'm sorry, how old she is and how long she's been in training with you? And
Oh, I didn't. Here, let me get my microphone.
Here, here's one. Oh, I got it.
Here, there you go. So Delta is 7 years old, and she's been in training ever since I got her. So she came to me with the intention of hopefully having a career in wildlife detection, and so we've been together for almost 7 years now, and training actually never stops. So even though she's 7 years old and she knows her job for sure, and she does a really good job, we're always working, always training, and always keeping the brain fresh. And if we get a new project where she needs to learn a new scent, then we have to do a lot of training to teach her that new scent. Because they have like these scent libraries in their head, and you can just keep adding. If we get a new project and say, okay, now you're gonna look for bobcat scat, then we can add that bobcat scat odor to her little library in her brain of odors that she knows to try to find.
So when you get a new project, she has to not respond to the old target.
Actually, that she is allowed to respond to old targets, so it's kind of all added on. It's a lot to ask a dog to switch and say, okay, well, we don't want you to find that anymore. But it can be a good thing, because what can happen is biologists that are working on different species can kind of team up and say, okay, I'm studying bobcat scat, and I'm studying blue-spotted salamanders, and so we can have a dog come out and search the same area for those 2 targets. So the other good thing about having a dog with multiple targets is that if we're looking for an endangered species, and that poor dog has to work all day and probably maybe not find something, or maybe found one all day, if she also knows a more common species, she gets to get some rewards throughout the day for finding the more common species. Even if we don't have biologists with us that need that species that day, we just leave it alone after we get our little ball play, and then we keep on the work. It kind of keeps them going and motivated and happy.
How do you select her for this kind of work? Like, did you select her before you got her, or when you got her you noticed traits? Or
Yeah, so I select based on First of all, kind of like the lines and the parents, and that do the parents kind of have the traits that I'm looking for? And then in a litter, you know, I work with reputable breeders that know their puppies really well, so they actually can help me select the dog that might kind of be what I'm looking for. But generally, I'm looking for a dog that really, really loves their toys or really, really loves their food. Something like they're really motivated to get what they want. They would, you know, we always joke like they would go through the drywall for the tennis ball. Like, that's the type of dog, maybe not that extreme, but something like that where a dog's really motivated. A nice confident dog that can come and do these types of things or go out in the woods and work with me and leave my side and kind of go off a little bit and trust their own nose over me. And I'd always be looking for me for the answer. But I don't know the answer. I'm asking the dogs to give me the answer. So yeah, nice, independent, at high energy, you know, energetic dogs. You'll see energetic in a minute here when I get Chili Bean out.
How many cents is Delta trained for?
That's a very good question. Delta is trained for 1, 2, 3, 4 cents. So you do birds, bats, wood turtles, and a 4 cent. That we don't really actually know what the cent is. It's a long story. Any other questions?
Yeah, any other questions?
All right, I'll go get Chili Bean. We'll just take a minute break. It'll be really quick. What is this? This is a microphone. Okay, this is Chili Bean. She's a 5-year-old Labrador Retriever. And she is, just like Delta, from lines that are bred for working. So very, very athletic type of lab. Might look a little bit different than some other labs that you see. Her nose is already going. And just like Delta, she loves to work, and she's very excited to work today. So what we're going to do with her today, we're going to do something a little bit different to show you another kind of training exercise to do. Is instead of doing the lineup here, I have hidden, before everyone showed up, some training targets for her to find. And we are, there's itty little tiny bits of odor for her to find. And I'm going to hook her up to a long line, and she's going to search for them. We're going to actually search that way. And unfortunately, I didn't think about someone sitting on that rock, so I did hide a target kind of close to there.
You guys gotta move. The dog's gonna go over there.
If you don't mind, just for this one part, I'll have you move off the rock.
Because the dog needs to do their practice. Come on. Why? Come on.
I hid one right.
No, you gotta come over here by me.
So again, I will.
Hey, Cotton.
Again, I'm not going to tell you exactly what Chili does when she finds something different than Delta. I get to see if you can tell me when she finds something.
See, that's what I'm always doing. It's driving me crazy.
Oh wow, look at that. I bet she did. You know it's gonna work. Yeah, I think so. I think she's excited though. Oh yeah. I wonder how it doesn't get tingles in the legs.
I think my target got knocked off the rock. Don't worry, I've got 2 more where you can see them. So Chili's favorite game is hug. Let's see if she can find one where you can. I know, there's one there. I can't grab it right now. It's in the bush. Alright. Pick it up so I can show you guys. Oh, I lost sight of it, Chili. You gotta find it for me again. She's like, I found it. I know. It's hard to let it go. You find that one again for me. I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Good. Thank you. That was the one she was alerting to there. Alright, we got one more. It's kind of over on this side, so if you can't see over there, you want to kind of move over. It's on the other side here. She's also got one in the bush now that I can't get out. No, there's one in the bush.
Yeah, you think so? She really wants to.
That's the last time I put one on top of a rock.
You think you could find it with your eyeballs? She's doing a really good job. It's stuck in her nose now. She's gonna get it.
Nice job.
The one in the bush is big and stinky. I'll get that later.
What is the object?
So this is a training odor. It's actually a type of rubber. And it is used for dogs that, I use it for dogs that primarily work on things that I can't practice with at home. So Chili is my main wood turtle dog right now. And I can't have a wood turtle at my home because they are a species at risk. And we don't want to disrupt animals to use them for training purposes. So when I want to do these types of training exercises with Chili, I use a kind of an alternate odor that she's trained to find. And it's rubber. It actually comes from, if you know the Kong dog toys, it's that rubber, because the company never changes their rubber recipe, so it always smells the same. So we actually use that as a training odor in a lot of dogs, and so we can cut tiny little pieces of it and do training exercises with it. And then when we want to transfer those skills over to an animal or a plant or something that we can't really practice with at home, then we do that, and then they can find it in the environment.
How do you make the switch? You just offer it on site?
No, so normally what we do is so for example, for a wood turtle, the biologists that work with the wood turtles will actually collect a little bit of odor on like a swab. And they'll transfer that odor to me, but it doesn't last very long when it's on a swab like that. So I get it immediately from the biologist, and I do training at home to make her understand that that is also a target odor. And a lot of the training to get her to understand that that's now a target odor has to do with presenting the odor to her pitch, and then rewarding her with her ball. Until she understands that, oh, this is also something that I should look for. And then she'll start telling me when she finds it using that sit alert behavior that she does.
Are they service dogs?
They're not technically service dogs in that they're not trained to assist somebody with a medical task of some sort.
Yes. Are they allowed? Do they ever need like special allowances in public places?
No, not that I know of, but when we're working on projects, we can get certain permissions for example, if we're working on like land where normally dogs have to be on leash and things like that, we'll get special permissions typically to be able to have a dog access certain areas or be off leash in certain areas.
Yeah. Anybody else have questions?
Shelly could play ball all day long.
Lindsay, that's all.
That's all I have for you.
Yeah. Yeah.